We got breaking news. It is official. Christian Wood has officially signed with the Los Angeles Lakers. He signed a 2-year deal with a player option for the second year. This year will be $2.7 million. Next year will be a $3 million player option. This is the news we've all been waiting for, right? This is the news that we all kind of knew was coming, right? You had Jovan Buha on Lakers Nation's podcast basically talking about how he thought personally that he made a lot of sense for Miami. And look, that's something that I've talked about heavily. I thought the Lakers and Miami were the only two teams that made sense for Christian Wood, right? Christian Wood, it's not his skill set. It's not his ability to play the game of basketball. It's his image. He's built this stigma around him of being a poor teammate, a poor locker room guy, and he needed to go to a place that would give him the opportunity to change that image and change that image fast, right? He doesn't have a lack of offers because he can't play the game of basketball. This guy is a 17-8 guy, right? Who averaged, 2 blocks per game last year? Or a block and a half per game last year? Right? Like, this is a guy that can absolutely impact the game of basketball, but he's an issue. Now, to his defense, he's a guy that hasn't really had any stability. He's been a journeyman. And on top of lack of stability, he's never been on a winning team and in a winning culture. He now has that opportunity here to be a key part of a team that has a real chance and opportunity to win an NBA championship. It's up to him to buy in, play the role that is asked of him, and to commit to the team, right? Like, that's the thing. And I'm sure that there was that level of conversation of like, here's the role that we have in mind for you. I'm sure Darvin Ham was in the meeting. I'm sure when they talked, right, he asked questions and they answered his questions, right? And I'm sure it was somewhere along the lines of like, look, if you want to go play 40 minutes a game and be in a terrible situation like you've been in, go to San Antonio, go to something like that. Right? If you just strictly want the money, go to whatever team will give you the most money. If you want a winning culture, a winning environment, an opportunity to make more money long term, come to us because we'll rebrand you, right? But if he went to a team like San Antonio and they're losing and he has another locker room implosion and he could be completely out of the league. We've seen very talented players completely fall out of the league because of just character issues, right? Like, that is a real thing that could happen. Or he becomes a guy that a team just gives him $1 million a year, $2 million a year, and just has him ride the pine, right? Like, it's just, that's, what do you want? What are you looking for? That's what I'm sure the Lakers conversation was. And if it was, hey, come here, you'll have the bright lights, you have all the media attention, all eyes will be on you. If you buy in and you play the role that is asked of you, you're going to have success. I'm curious to see if part of that conversation was like, a guaranteed minute, like, hey, we'll guarantee you, we'll give you a large role. You'll play 25 minutes a game, something like that. I wonder if part of the conversation was about starting, right? We'll see, right? Because, it makes sense to have like LeBron, Wood, and AD as like your starting unit. But my guess is the Lakers didn't guarantee that he would start. But I could still see him earning that spot. He's talented. That's not an issue. But can he buy in? You have LeBron James. You have a great organization, prestigious organization. You're going to have the media on your behind, right? So he's going to have to watch his P's and Q's. And you have a coach in Darvin Ham who is an absolute player coach that can just, for whatever reason, just the way he's got the gift of gab, like the guy can just get you to believe and buy in. He did it with Russ even, right? And so you have all the things at your disposal to change and turn it around. If you win, if you come to Lakers, you play your role, you play your part, you don't gripe, you don't do nothing, and the Lakers win an NBA championship, guess what? You're going to get paid. You now have a big three between you, LeBron, and Anthony Davis. Big four, because Austin Reeves, right, at this point. But now you have an opportunity to play alongside two Hall of Fame players and learn from them and grow from them and be a better player. LeBron has been the ultimate get guys to figure it out guy, right? Like, oh, this isn't going to work, that's not going to work. And he's always seemed to figure it out. I mean, outside of like the Russ seems to be the one exception. But Christian Wood isn't going to have a fit problem. His game is tailor-made alongside LeBron and AD, right? It's just, can he watch his P's and Q's? Can he buy in? Can he play what is ever asked of him? You know, if it's one of those things where it's like, hey, no, tonight we're only going to be able to give you 15 minutes because we want to get Hayes some run and we want to see what he looks like. Is he going to complain about that? You know, like, he's going to have opportunity. Anthony Davis is going to miss 20 plus games. LeBron James probably misses 20 plus games. In those games, he's probably going to have one of the biggest roles on the team. Him and Austin Reeves will probably be the 1 and 2 option. Christian Wood has a real opportunity here, and it's up to him to seize that. This was an absolute grand slam for the Lakers because it's so low risk, such high reward. Best case scenario, he fits perfectly, and he's a 17-8 guy alongside Anthony Davis and LeBron James, and they win an NBA championship. Worst case scenario, he doesn't work out. He's $2.7 million. You just buy him out, waive him, whatever, or just package him in a trade with like D'Lo or whomever, and they end up waiving him, right? Like, it's just, there's a lot of ways that they could go about it, right? Like, this is about as good as it gets. How often do you get a 17-8 guy for $2.5 million? Defensively, he has his concerns. He's a bit of a concern on the defensive side, but he also allows Anthony Davis to play in that scout role, right? And maybe he'll buy in, right? Darvin Ham was able to get Russell Westbrook to play defense, and Russ was great, right? Like, and he's gonna be learning from AD. Right? And he's going to be put into defensive schemes that are going to use to his advantage. And the guy has good size, right? He's like 6'10". So he has the tools to be a solid defensive guy. He just needs to buy in. Right? I'm not saying he's going to be this elite defensive guy. I'm not saying anything like that, but can he be serviceable enough? 6'10", 7'3" wingspan, right? He has the tools. The tools are there. It's just, can he put it together? Can the Lakers put him in a position to find and have success at that center position, or, you know, that power forward position? But regardless, however it shapes up, I fully believe Christian Wood is going to thrive with this Lakers team, in this Lakers system, alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis. It's just, can he get his mental right? If he can get his mental right, he's going to have an impact. And look, I'm rooting for him, right? The Lakers made the most sense. Miami made a lot of sense too, right? Because with or without Damian Lillard, Christian Wood would have started, and he would have been in a position of like the Heat culture, Eric Spoelstra, Jimmy Butler, right? Like, Miami made a world of sense. Now, one is part of it like, well, if I go and sign there and then they end up signing, or they end up trading for Dame, and they also get Nurkic, does that end up ruining my opportunity? That could have been a fear. Where for the Lakers, it's like, okay, they have Anthony Davis and Jackson Hayes, and then outside of that, I'm the only other big man, right? And I can outplay and I can outbeat Jackson Hayes for the backup role at worst. So I'm going to get probably 25 minutes a game with the Lakers, and I'm going to be able to have a big role and a big opportunity, and I'm going to be able to go off for, you know, my 15 plus a night, right? Like, I'm sure that there was real thought. And look, there was no rush for Christian Wood, right? Because worst case scenario, he does what he just did. He signs for $2.7 million with the Lakers, signs a player option for next year. If it works out great and he can get a bag, he'll get a bag. And look, let's say the Lakers win the NBA championship this year. You don't think LeBron James will opt out of his contract and make sure Christian Wood gets some money so that way they can bring everybody back? LeBron at that point would be going for number 6. You don't think he wants his 6th NBA championship? The Lakers win the NBA championship this year. LeBron will do whatever it takes to bring everybody back and try to run it back. Especially if they, for the most part, just kind of blow through everybody, which I don't think is that unlikely. Right? The only teams that really kind of like, I think are tough for the Lakers still is Denver, obviously, because Denver, they've been really good, but do they kind of take a step back as we've seen with teams that win a chip? The Phoenix Suns, right, on paper, you might as well give them the NBA championship now, but in reality, does it really work? Right? If that works, that could be a bit of a problem. Obviously, Milwaukee is still Milwaukee. Boston is still Boston. Even though I don't really worry about Boston so much, it's Milwaukee, Denver, and the Suns if they work out. Those are the only teams that I really think I could see the Lakers having a tough series with. But I really think this is it. I really think that I think the Lakers were already a contender. We're already a team that absolutely could have won the NBA championship. I think Christian Wood is just the cherry on top. I think he's the piece that puts the Lakers over. And look, time will tell. I don't know that for certain, right? Christian Wood could end up being a disaster for all we know. I don't think he will, though. I think he knows that this is his opportunity. This is it. And if I botch this, it's probably over for me. So my guess is he's on his P's and Q's. He's on his best behavior, buys in, does whatever he needs to do. He'll get his points. LeBron, he's got LeBron James, Austin Reeves, and D'Angelo Russell to set him up and make him look good, right? He's going to be playing alongside Anthony Davis. He's going to go from like the second option to like the third or fourth option. That's going to be huge for him because now he's going to have so much easier of a time scoring the basketball. I don't think he's going to know what to do. Like literally. But I'm pumped. I'm excited. And as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. How do you feel? What do you think about the Lakers getting Christian Wood? This is what we've been waiting for. Are you pumped? Are you excited? Think it's enough? Do you think, like the Lakers still need more? Do you lock them in as the NBA champions? How do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments.